Hey guys, welcome to the Mission Driven Life podcast, episode 170. What is it? 70. Well, actually, we're on 100. We're on episode 196. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a sec, but I wanted to get you guys tuning in here and gaining tons of value. Super grateful that you guys could be here today. This is the Mission Driven Life podcast, episode 196. Glad you guys can tune in today because, guys, I'm talking and I'm sharing and some value on something that's very important to me. Something that's been valuable to my life. Something that I trust that you could add value to yours. And these are things that you could start taking action on today. I know they share this all the time. I know I talk about this all the time. But these are the things, these 21 laws of leadership has changed almost everything for me. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Mission Driven Life podcast, episode 196. Glad you guys can tune in and be here with me today because we're sharing tons of value on the 21 laws of leadership. This book has been so powerful in my life, has been so impactful in your life, and could be for your life. And this is something that I really, really find important. These 21 laws of leadership are one of the things that can change everything for you. One of the things that could blow things up for you, blow things up for your sales, especially blow things up for your family. Now, the 21 Laws of Leadership is from the book by John Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And hey, Kennedy, thanks for the love, man. Appreciate you, bro. If you guys haven't followed my man Kennedy yet, he's a great guy. He teaches everything about real estate, rise and shine. He's actually having big giveaways. So if you guys haven't heard about his giveaway, check out his giveaway on his page. Kennedy Gates, he's a great man. But I wanted to share with you with something really cool because look, these 21 laws of leadership is something that you could apply in every part of your life. You can apply this in your business, real estate, your company, in your work, in your teammate. And this one is the law of influence, right? This is the one that John Maxwell talks about this all the time. And we're going to go over kind of a review of what I've learned here and how we're going to talk about what the law of influence means to me. Because look, we can all claim that we're leaders. We could give each other titles of that we're leaders. We could tell everyone that we're leaders. We could be like, yo, I'm a CEO, I'm the president, I'm the prime minister. But if you don't lead, if you can't have people following you, you're not a leader. You don't have people following you. People aren't listening to you. People don't even care about what you have to say. Now, what I wanted to share about in this podcast is like what it takes for you to step into that leadership and what the law of influence means. But hey, if you're tuning in, thanks for everyone that's watching, everyone that's tuning in today. Drop a comment. Let me know that you're down below because look, every comment really matters. Every like really matters. Everything matters because it helps us reach so much more, so much value. Now, this is what we're diving into. Yeah? Because look, what John Maxwell talks about in this book is that how Mother Teresa, she was speaking in front of hundreds of people, and she was talking about, in his speech, she was sharing her message, right? And in the speech, she was talking about the problems in the world, the challenges that are happening in the world, and the terrible things that are happening all over the world, and and she was talking about how families are being destroyed, families are being separated, and that the destroyer of families is abortion. Now, as she talked about this, there was no one in the audience that she didn't offend. You know what I mean? There was no one that she could offend. There's actually no one that she didn't offend. But as she spoke, many people listened. She was a leader that people kept their eyes open to. She was a leader that people were listening to, people that were paying attention to. And she talked about all these different things, and at the end of it, people were interested. People were like, wow, she challenged my thinking. People were thinking like, wow, Mother Teresa, she has this huge power, and she has this huge benefit, and she has this value that, and like she has all this influence because look, she's Mother Teresa, right? She has helped so many homeless people and people in poverty, and has like gained so much influence with the world that everyone would tune in, everyone would listen to what she had to say. Now imagine if you had that influence, right? Imagine if everything that you said, everyone would tune into. Well, wherever you went, people would ask for your autograph. Or whenever you spoke, people would take notes. That's the power of influence, guys. That's the power of what it takes to lead. And that's the power of that's the power of greatness. You know what I mean? That's the power of what it means to step into that greatness. Now, I wanted to share what I wanted to share is like, how can this can apply to you? I want to give you a tool that can help you reach that influence, that can help you gain that leadership. Because look, influence is super important, and without influence, you're not a leader. So as I talk about this more, tune in, because leader, he talks about how titles don't mean anything. One thing I want to share about is how titles don't mean shit. So if you ever met someone who had a title as president or CEO and growth, and maybe someone that has a title for their name that has like boss or owner or leader or president, maybe you know someone that has that title. But I want you to think of them, and I want you to see if like that same person, do you know if they have leadership? Do you know if they are great leaders? Do you know if they are stepping into that leadership? Do you know if they can command a team? Do you know if they can benefit the team? Do you know if what they have to say is valuable? Because maybe they do, maybe you don't, right? The cool thing about this is that, as much as people want to claim that they're leaders, what really matters is the action, right? What really matters is how amazing and how service they are and how beneficial they are. You know what I mean? Because that's what's really interesting about this, is that we can have all these titles, we can have all these names, we can have all these titles, but that doesn't mean shit if you can't lead the team, and you can't influence the team, and you can't change the world, and you can't impact the team. None of that really matters, right? None of that really truly matters. So cool. So what I want to share is like, look, how can we break that title? How can we gain that title? But how can we also find a place in your life where leadership is not just influence? Where it's, how can we bring it more than leadership is more than just a title? How can we make it to a point where leadership is not just a word, and not just something that someone says, and not just someone a title, maybe a president, CEO, or a champion or owner? How can we make leadership more than that? So I'm gonna tell you how, because I've learned a way, and what I've learned is, and what John Maxwell talks about is that, look, people think that if I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a great leader. That's not totally right. That's where I kind of disagree with John Maxwell here, because he says that entrepreneurs aren't leaders. And I disagree with John Maxwell and what he says, because what he says is that, if you're a leader, if you're an entrepreneur, you're not a leader. That's what he talks about. He's like, if you're an entrepreneur, you're not a leader. But what I truly believe, and what I honestly think, is someone that can take the initiative to start an idea and that can bring people together and to create a business is a leader. Because if this entrepreneur can bring people together and get people to buy his products, and if he can share that message, and a person that I could think about is Steve Jobs. If that leader can do that, he is a leader. If that entrepreneur can create that message, then he is a leader. So that's one part about it, right? Now the next thing I wanted to share is how, one thing I agree with him is how he says that knowledge is a myth. Because look, we can know so many things. We can know so much about our about our groups. We can know so much about what the change that we want to create in the world. We could know so much, but that doesn't mean you're a leader. And I agree with that. Because I honestly see a lot of people out there that they have all these titles and they know so many things, but they don't know how to influence people. They don't know how to bring people together. They don't know how to inspire. They don't know how to bring a unit together. They talk about all these things about leadership, or they think that they're very smart in this topic, but they don't know actually how to unite people. But I want to share with you a couple reasons and a couple things. I want to share with you a couple things, especially this one thing that I realized and I learned has helped me gain influence. And this has helped with working with a lot of young entrepreneurs. And if you haven't donated yet, send us a donation to the Young Entrepreneur Fund. We're basically paying for young entrepreneurs and giving them training and leadership development to come and step into their leadership. So whatever you decide to donate today, it's going to help them step into their growth. So let me drop a comment down below. And you guys could donate or not. I'm not asking you to donate. You don't have to. You know, it's it's totally optional if you guys want to donate or not. But I do know this is going to go a super long way. So I put that link down below, and you will be getting tons of value as well. You'll be getting tons of courses. You'll get 7 courses on leadership. You'll get a necklace. You'll actually get a necklace that will go with this. We gained a lot of donations recently in the last couple days, but I'm glad you guys can. If you guys want to, you guys can donate, and the link is down below. But this is the one thing that has really helped me, especially working with young entrepreneurs. This has helped me gain influence. This has helped me gain leadership. And this one thing is this. It's the fact that if I show character, and if I show character in what I do, and if I show character in how I do business, and if I show character in how I work with others, and if I show character by doing what I say, you know, if I do what I say and I do what I promise and I keep my word with certain things, and if I promise what I say to people and my words and actions are aligned, that has helped me gain influence. Especially when my words and my actions are equal. So if I say something and I do it and I follow through, that will help me gain influence. You know, so if I tell people, look, I'm gonna give you a bottle of water. But let's say when it's time to give the bottle of water and I don't give any water at all and I don't follow through, that people are gonna think I'm not trustworthy. Or people are gonna think that, what is this guy saying? He said he'd do it. You know? They're going to think all these different things. You know, they're going to think all these different negative things about me. They're not going to trust me. They're not going to believe what I say. But when I started doing this, I gained a lot of influence fast. And this helped me gain the trust of my team and the trust of the people and the trust of the young people that I'm working with. And it's if I'm doing what I'm saying. So if I'm teaching leadership, I need to act on everything about leadership. You know, if I'm teaching all this about leadership, I need to make sure that what I'm teaching and what I'm teaching is exactly what I'm doing. Because if I'm teaching this and my actions are nothing, no one will follow me. That is the one thing that has changed and helped me gain influence. Is that if I keep my word and I honor my agreements, I will gain influence. And you will gain influence as well. So if you start to learn about leadership and if you want to start to understand what that means to you, I really encourage you to think about that for a sec. I really encourage you of where in your life are you not keeping your agreements? Because I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect man. Sometimes I make commitments and I don't follow through with them. And sometimes I make a mistake and I don't do it. And I feel so much shame when I don't follow through. But this one thing has helped leaders like Billy Graham expand his evangelical mission all over the world. If you guys don't know who Billy Graham is, this guy is a very powerful leader. He actually coaches and he builds churches, and he's one of the most well-known evangelists in the world. And what he's done, and what Billy Graham has done to help grow his mission, is how he kept character. He did what was right. He kept his word. He told the truth. He did all these things to make sure he has good character standing with people. He made sure that his character was on the top level, was on the highest level, that what he was saying and actions were the same thing, and that they weren't lies, they weren't bullshit, and they were telling the truth, and he was doing what's right. Now, as over time, people can tell that, look, Billy Graham was a leader. He had influence. He did not just preach it, but he acted on it. He told the truth, and he did what he said. And as time would tell, people watch that, right? People actually watch your actions, especially young kids. They will watch your actions to a close to tiny meter, and they will follow your actions. They will follow every piece of your action. And look, if you guys don't know this, I want you to start trying that out. I want you to start telling your kids that if you have a kid, that you're gonna get them something for them, and then they're gonna start asking you, when are they gonna get it, if they haven't done it yet. So that's the power of leadership and how that can show up, because you can tell people all these things, but if you're not following through, that will break that trust, that will break them, and that will break the relationship you have with them. So if you want to gain influence, I encourage you to start showing character. And character does not just mean doing what's right, telling the truth, and being honest. Character also means showing the leadership values of discipline, of courage, of strength, of love, and honesty. All these different values that show character. Because if you're strong, if you can stay strong in adversity, if you can show confidence, especially in tough moments, if you can show bravery and do what's scary, if you can show love and forgiveness and show all these character traits to your people and your team, and maybe even your clients, people will start to follow you guys. I honestly believe that. If you start doing that, people will start to follow you, they'll listen to you, they'll tune in to what you have to say, and they'll actually consider you as a leader. So I want you guys to think about that. I just wanted to share with you the 21 laws of leadership. The one I wanted to share with you was the law of influence. How can you get people to follow you, especially if you're a volunteer? How can you get people to follow you, whether you're whoever you are? And the one thing that I wanted to share, and John Maxwell shares, is character, is having character. Having character in the tough moments, telling the truth, keeping your word, showing bravery, being honest. If you can keep your character, people will follow you, people will trust you as a leader, and watch your influence blow. People will see you. So hey, if you guys want to connect on that, hey, feel free to donate to the mission, to the Young Leaders in Action, because we want to support young leaders who are out here, who want to step into their leadership and who want to gain their leadership. By you giving a donation today, you're actually going to be giving them the tools that they could get to start being that leader who has character. Because that's what we're going to do for them in that training. Feel free to donate, hit that link down below. And this is the Mission Driven Life. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 196.